Hello YouTube and welcome to another moto vlog. Coming at you from my riding on my R1200 GS, my 2014 BMW. I'm sounding excited, I'm sounding happy, I'm sounding good, but it's not gonna last. This is a very long vlog. I mean, we're talking about 53 minutes, 7 seconds, and 21 milliseconds. That's a long vlog. So if you're going to stick with me for this, I thank you. If you're going to listen to me rant for almost an hour, I thank you. And if you're not, and you're going to close this down now, well, hey, that's your prerogative too, man. I hope you have a good day, and I hope everything works out for you. Very cool. Very good stuff. Oh, my steering wheel's off. Anyways, we're up here entering West Virginia. There we go. That's the state line right there. Starting off, gonna go down, the old standby, old faithful Charlestown Road. Also, I want to apologize right now for the smudge on my lens. I didn't notice that until after I got back. Looks like there's a little condensation in there that I didn't clean up from last time I went riding. What a pain, but also, what are you gonna do? Yeah, just gonna have to deal with that little smudge. Now that you see it too, you can't unsee it either. So this car pulls out of the way and we get to have a little bit of fun. You'll see how much. Just a tiny, tiny little bit. What was that, 2 corners, 3 corners? And then we catch right up to traffic. So that is what it is. So I'm still pretty sick. I got a throat infection and like a lump of flesh that's all gross and stuck in my throat. Ugh. So we went from Charlestown all the way down to, well, this is north of Winchester, so we went from Charlestown to north of Winchester. Now we're heading down a bit of a country road here, a little back road in West Virginia still. This is just kind of the views you can expect out here. Just the views you can expect. So we continue along the road, and everything's cool, everything's nice. This was actually a really good ride. If you do stick along, I mean, and watch this whole thing, you're going to get a pretty good sense, I think, of what it's like to ride, out in the country here in West Virginia and, Western Virginia as well. I wouldn't call it Western Virginia. I don't know. Virginia's a weird-shaped state. It's like the western part of Virginia, northwestern. How about that? The northwestern part of Virginia, which is actually pretty far east. Yeah, whatever. Because Virginia's not very wide where I live, up in northern Virginia, so. As you can see, this is a pretty decent road. But then everything sort of changes. The yellow line goes away, the speed limit drops, and now we're on a mountain road. We're not on a country road anymore. We're on a mountain road. Now I don't know the names of these roads, but here we go. As you can see, we run into our first switchback of the day. Really climbing quickly, like really, really quickly. I don't know if we'll get a good sense of how high up we already are. Yeah, if you look to your right, yeah, you can't really see it right now, but maybe we can see after this switchback. So after this switchback here, look to your left. Maybe we'll get a good view of, the valley below. Yeah. Yeah, the trees are blocking it. Even though it's winter, you do have a lot of this undergrowth, and oh, there's a pretty good view. As you can see, we're already, hundreds and hundreds of feet above the valley. Maybe even 1,000 feet above the valley already. You can also see there's a good amount of, not a good amount, but there is some, traffic coming the other way. So that's always something you have to be mindful of on these roads with no center line, is that, you know, they are 2-lane roads, and you need to be careful for that. So here we go. My GPS was telling me to turn down here and that this was not a gravel road, but it's pretty obvious looking at it that it is a gravel road that is unpaved gravel road, and my bike can handle that without much of an issue, even with the street tires I have, but other people's bikes, you know, not so much. Then it's telling me to go up there and turn around, and I'm like, no, I'm going to continue along here. Finally, it starts rerouting me and gives us a good route. So that's good to see. As you can see here, we are well above the valley. I mean, that was a pretty good view there. And it still kind of is, even through the tree line. There is definitely something going on with my steering wheel. That's another story. It's turning on and off. That's very strange. Very, very strange. But what are you going to do? Probably needs to just be plugged back in. Either that or it's dying. You just don't know. Logitech isn't exactly the greatest company in the world, so not a whole lot I can say about that. So now we're heading down the mountain. As you can see, we're descending fairly rapidly. This is a pretty cool little mountain pass road. You know, it had the switchbacks, but a lot of these corners are nice and open. Speedy Subaru coming the other way. So now, as you can see, we're getting pretty close to the valley. We're kind of up off the mountain now. We're down off the mountain, as I should say. But it's still a pretty nice, twisty road. So corners like that, you gotta be a little careful. You can't see through them. You don't know if a car is coming the other way. So you kind of limit your speed, you know? But man, the views here, I just love this winter time. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, the views in wintertime are a lot better than the views in summertime, especially if you're trying to make YouTube videos, because all the, you know, the complicated foliage and the intermixing of light and shadow and all these other things, when it comes to making, you know, low bitrate YouTube videos, really screws up the quality. I've complained about this before, and I'll complain about it again. My Tail of the Dragon footage is just awful on YouTube. It looks like absolute shit. And that's because YouTube bitrate is too low to process the data. So don't be like me, guys. Don't do as I do here. I'm playing around with my GPS by hand as I'm going down this country road. Man, look at the sun. This is just beautiful. You got some bright action here, but you've also got that cloud cover, and you got the mountain, the Blue Ridge Mountains there. Oh, very nice. And the Blue Ridge Mountains look a little blue. I don't know if that's black, blue, whatever. Take it or leave it. I'll say blue. It's like navy blue. So now we're heading up another mountain pass road. We had gone down that road for a while, and then heading into that next mountain, the Blue Ridge Mountain you can see ahead of us. So now we're on, you know, we were on the mountain to our left, now we're on this mountain, and we're going to go right up over it. So that's a lot of fun, you know, just crossing mountains. Have a guy going to turn left, you know, it's always good that he didn't turn left in front of us. So I have to be thankful for that. Now, you know, here we go. This is just an example of, you know, that West Virginia country courtesy. Drive up behind this guy. Look at this, he pulls over and lets us by. How extremely nice of him to do that, you know? Can't say enough good things about that. Really can't. So now we continue along this road. This looks like a longer clip. Probably because the road's quite technical here. As you can see, it's very tight. I'm trying to do my best to stay, you know, on my side of the road through these hairpins. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It's that U-turn stuff. It's those parking lot drills, you know? They come in handy when you get out into the real world. Being able to make tight U-turns really does matter when you're out on these roads and the U-turns are very tight and you don't know what's coming. There, as you can see, we had a nice bit of fallen debris on the road, and as you can see, now we got another U-turn going to our left. So there, I kind of turned too tight. I cut in and kind of took the racing line a little bit. That wasn't great. I should have stayed, you know, outside just in case a car was coming. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Guy there, give him a little nod. You look like your typical West Virginia man, that's for sure. Nothing wrong with that. So as you can see, we've gone up the mountain, we've gone down the mountain. Continuing along these country roads. This is just great riding for me. I love roads like this with no center line, low speed, just taking it nice and easy. As you can see, I've got my helmet not all the way closed. It's kind of like, the visor's kind of like one notch open. Feels good. So now we're back on a road with some center lines, so that's always nice. Yeah, we had to slog down this road for quite a bit of a distance, maybe 15 to 20 miles. But it was a faster road besides these bridges here, where, you know, one lane bridge around a blind corner. Might want to slow down a little bit just in case. You got to come to a complete stop. Get yourself ready for that. So we continue along, and I believe we encounter some more one-lane bridges at one point, but maybe I don't show that. I think this is just some nice little twisty action along this road. Some gentle bends, you know, nothing too fancy, but a little bit of fun. I think this is our one-lane bridge here. Yep. So see, it kind of comes out of nowhere on you. I just love these bare trees. I got to admit, this just really does it for me. Really does it for me. Now we're coming up to a stop sign. This is a bit of a weird one. You'll see that there's no painted white line here. And this guy comes to a stop as well, and now I come to a stop because I do have a stop sign. And of course he goes. He doesn't just let us go ahead of him, which would be really nice. But hey, what are you gonna do? You can't expect, you know, courtesy from every driver in the world. Not courtesy. You can't expect, I'd say, extreme courtesy. So we followed him for a few miles, and we found this Sheetz that we came up on. Good place to get some gas, use the restroom, get some lunch, warm up, since it is, you know, a cooler day. And just continue on and on and on. Excuse me, had a little bit of a cough there going on. That guy there was a motorcycle rider. I'll show you that in a second. There's one of my riding buddies. There's another one. Oh, there's the other one. There he is. That's a Harley Sportster and a Honda Magna. There's the guy on some kind of Honda. I'm not really sure what it was. It was an older Honda touring bike. Pretty cool. So then we continued on from here and we headed out towards Paw Paw. But instead of going into Paw Paw, we're going to take a little bit of a detour down Detour Road and Magnolia Road. I'm going to show a little bit of that. This is a longer clip here coming up. This is some of the twisties on Route 9 heading from Berkeley Springs to Paw Paw. I believe Berkeley Springs is the name of the town. Believe that is it. Let me check my map. Whoop. Yeah, Berkeley Springs. So that's always fun. You know, we're heading southwest. A few nice little twisties. I'm not going too fast or anything. I'm just taking it easy. My tires are, heavily inflated. I don't have those low racing pressures going on, so I'm not exactly going to try to tempt fate, especially with the lower temperatures here. I'm going to try to tempt fate against the racing gods. Just going to take it nice and easy. Have a good time, A nice safe time, as they say. Safe fun. Because this is a pretty high speed limit here. And of course, I've never been on this road, so I'm not really sure what to expect in terms of, does this corner tighten, or does it, open, or is there stuff on the other side? Are there, turn-offs? Are there, whatever. You just don't know. So taking it nice and easy. Some good riding though. I really like this road. It's nice and open and it's a lot of fun. You can really, really go fast here if you want, but I wouldn't suggest that, to be perfectly frank. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to go super fast on a tight, twisty road you don't know. Especially when it says like 20 miles an hour on a 5 mile an hour road. Do you go fast? Do you go slow? What do? I don't know. I go okay, sort of fast. I was probably about 45 miles an hour. Now it looks like the road's straightening out, so I'm telling my buddy to slow down and let's wait for the rest of the group. So we do that, we slow down, and then there's some nice roads up ahead, so I speed up. Some nice little twisty curves, so I speed back up. There's a nice river there on the right, very nice view. And there are mountains on the left, rivers on the right. It's a nice view. West Virginia's just a great place to ride a motorcycle. Not a lot of police. You got all these country roads, these 2-lane country roads. Oh man, it's just nice. You want to treat things like a racetrack and go a million miles an hour. Well, this really isn't for you. But if you want to just, have some nice twisties, take in the scenery, have a good time. Yeah. This is the place for you. For sure. Got ourselves a nice bridge here. Not sure what we're crossing, but it's a low bridge, 14 feet. Oh, we got a bit of a river there on the right and on the left. Not that you can see it on the left, but it's still there. So now we're coming up on Detour Road. Heading down 9, and now we're on Detour Road. This is one of the roads I really wanted to drive. Not so much this road, but the road this connects to. So we'll get there in a minute. This is like the beginning of Detour Road. See, it's another tight technical road that's not really paved very well. No center line, up and down mountains, you know, that kind of thing. But that's what I live for on this bike. That's what this bike lives for. So, you know, when I make these routes and I do these things, you know, it's for me. You know, I'm a selfish guy. I don't necessarily make routes for other riders. Make them for myself to have fun, you know, on my bike and my conditions. If you want to make a route that's for your bike and your conditions, then you go ahead and be the leader, and I'll follow you. Oh, wow. Look at that view. Ooh, just don't fall off the mountain. That's pretty steep there. You don't want to ride to the right off the road. That would be bad. There goes my steering wheel again. I'm sure you guys can hear it doing its thing. I don't know what the deal is with that. So now we're continuing on. This is Magnolia Road, I believe. This is kind of the main attraction for me. This is like why we came. Was to ride along, you know, this kind of stuff. Yeah, we headed down Magnolia Road for a bit, and this is kind of where... It's not the twistiest part, but it's also not the straightest part either. If you want to see the full road of this, of Magnolia Road, which is kind of why I came out on this trip, was because this road looks super duper twisty on the map. So that's why I came down, was to, you know, hit up these super twisty roads that just look crazy as anything on the map. And that's what it's for, so... As you can see, I mean, that's twisty. If you wanted to go fast, I mean, oh my gosh. Then, of course, we got our, you know, little hairpin. Beautiful little stream there. Very nice in general, you know. Well, of course, now we're kind of up off the ridge after making that hairpin. And the general idea is, you know, we're going south for the most part. But we're heading, you know, southeast, southwest, you know, that kind of thing. Zigzagging our way south. I like this with the sun and the reflections. It's a pretty cool look, in my opinion. Heading towards Pawpaw, and I gotta admit, we kind of skipped right past Pawpaw. I don't think we went into the town of Pawpaw at all. We kind of just skipped right by it, which I guess is a shame. Maybe we could have gone into the town and hit up a small restaurant or delicatessen or something along those lines and had a little bit of fun with some food fun. But no, we don't do that. See, we're heading east from Pawpaw. Or west, I don't know, but we're hitting up this road here that again heads south. So if we make a left, that's west. So we head a little west. I think if we had continued along that road, we would have went into Pawpaw, but instead we make this left here. Excuse me. We make this left here and then proceed south from Pawpaw. So you can see 20 mile an hour narrow road. They're not joking. 2 lanes, narrow. As you can see here, things get a little technical. You got uphill turns, downhill turns. You know, all that good stuff. It's all kinds of mountain road shenanigans. Nice twisty action on these tight little roads. And I'd love to ride some mountain or canyon roads out west, I got to admit, but you know, this is the next best thing for those of us on the East Coast. We're lucky enough to have roads like this out here, where yeah, okay, this isn't the tail of the dragon where you've got really nice pavement and center lines and pull-offs and all these things that are conducive to riding a bike very quickly and being able to push your limits on the street. Well, but a road like this is scenic and technical, and yeah, you're not pushing your limits, but hey, you're working the bike and having a good time.
Look at this, it's the center line.
So this is pretty funny. We think, looks like, you know,
I think we're back to
civilization here. I always stop for stop signs. So yeah, we're back to civilization here. But that doesn't last too long, because we head down this road a bit and it's like immediately this yellow line goes away from what I remember. Yeah, right there. It doesn't even have, we don't even get like a half mile down the road. I remember saying to my buddies, yeah, you know, here we are, we're back on a yellow lined road, everything's cool. So as you can tell also, it's pretty wet. So that kind of slowed me down a little bit. You just don't know where the water is going to get bad or deep or anything like that. Especially because these areas are in the shade because all the trees. It's a nice little S-turn here. Nothing fancy. Ooh, and a car. Unexpected car through the middle of the S-turn. Ooh. Gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. So we just got some more, I mean, we just continuing along, having our nice, you know, country road fun, as they say. This is another longer clip here, showing off just some more of this, this great riding, you know, this is great back road riding. I mean, is this a road? I mean, yeah, it's a road, but I mean, look at this, we're in the woods, we're riding through the woods on a paved road. It's just amazing. It makes you feel more connected with nature than, you know, riding along a major highway with the big sweeping turns or anything like that. It's just, yeah, it's peaceful in a way. It really is peaceful. You just like, I mean, this just isn't the kind of stuff you get in an urban environment. You know, you get these real deal country roads, and it's just great. Really, really great. Got a nice U-turn there. Can't say no to that. I will not. And look, you can see the mountains ahead and the trees to both sides, and just, oh, this is like the last place. You know, these places, these roads are the last place you want to have a crash. I'm really glad we didn't see any deer on this trip. That's always a positive. So now we got some more action here. Oh yeah, I slow up because we got a little bit of farm equipment. That's right, that's what this clip is. And this is the kind of stuff you'll see. I mean, you don't want to go a million miles an hour and crash into the back of one of these, you know, 5-ton ditch digger auto. Like, look at that thing. That thing is solid steel. It's not that big, but you know that thing weighs a hell of a lot more than a car. So some of us make the pass, and then some of us, you know, that I say over comms that the car's coming the other way, thankfully, to the guys in the back. And then they eventually make the pass. So eventually that road ends. We get back on the main highway. You know, get out of the woods and come up to this Sunoco. As you can see, we got some biker buddies. We said hi to them. They weren't the friendliest guys in the world, but hey, that's their prerogative, you know. They got places to go. They got things to do. So we move out from there, and as you can see, I've kind of upped the pace a little bit on this road because, you know, the visibility's better. You know, we're not so much in the woods as we are kind of in like an open area, kind of like a, not a meadow, but like a, you know, less in the woods. There's less woods. You know, we got grass there, for instance, around that church. Just straight roads. I thought that was just a cool little look. You know, those are the kind of little areas you run across in West Virginia. There's me looking behind, checking things out. And then you gotta wonder how they get these trailer homes out here, you know? You're driving a tractor trailer down a road like this? Holy moly. That's pretty intense, don't you think? Well, I think so, at least. Now we got some longer clips. Not really sure what these are about. Oh, you know, some car action. Again, I mean, we're still doing this back road, country road stuff. I mean, that's mostly what I'm showing here. This is what's interesting to me, are just the views, the roads, the technicalities, all this good stuff, man. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself here, but these roads insisted upon it. You know, you do have to repeat yourself. You have to be pragmatic. You have to be diligent. And you can't just go a million miles an hour because you're going to get hurt or killed, or you're going to hurt or kill somebody else if you ride too quick. It's not about, you know, and I've heard this from other motorcycle channels, you know, it's not about how fast you can go. It's more about how fast you should go. On a road like this, you really, 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 really do not want to outride your sight lines. You want to be able to stop before you make it around that corner. You know? You just can't tell what's coming up. Is it a deer? Is it a car? Is it a branch? Is it this? Is it that? You just don't know. Whereas with a road with a center line, you can have this confidence, right? Where you think, you know, the road's going to be clean-ish. There's not going to be cars in my lane, hopefully. And, you know, around the turn, the only thing you really need to worry about is people pulling out on you. So here we are at the end. We got a nice little church in front of us. You know, something like that. This is Route 50, if you can believe it. For those of you who live in the Northern Virginia area and are used to Route 50 being a big wide road, this is what it turns into, is this tiny little 2-lane country road. And if you can believe it, I mean, Route 50 runs from Ocean City to Sacramento. So that's a pretty long road. I think it's the longest single, you know, route in America, in, you know, the United States of America. Now, Canada probably's got a longer road in it, I would imagine, because Canada's a bit of a wider country in America, but USA. But, you know, in the USA, I mean, going all the way from Ocean City to Sacramento with an unbroken named route, Route 50, it's pretty cool. You gotta love that BMW ahead. Did not use this turn signal. I mean, we made a little joke. One of my buddies on comms made a little joke here, you know. If you ever feel worthless, just compare yourself to the guy who installs the turn signals and the turn signal electronics and all that stuff on BMWs. And I say this as a BMW motorcyclist who is religious about using his turn signals. I think the BMW motorcycles a little different from BMW cars. Different crowd of people. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Could be the same. Look at this little twisty action on Route 50, you know? A couple little twists, couple little turns. Nothing too serious, but nothing too bad either. Oh yeah, that's right. We got a little chicane, little detour chicane. I was worried about this, so I slowed down more, and I could have had a lot of fun here if I had kept my speed up. As you can see me accelerating through the exit of the chicane at least. Having a little bit of fun there. Always a good time, always a good time. So now we're continuing along. Not really sure what this clip's about. It's a short one though. Oh, it's us entering back into Virginia. That's right. Back in Virginia. So we did all that ride in West Virginia. Now we're back into Virginia for some more riding. As you can see, I mean, we've got about 18 minutes more of video left. So we still got some more stuff coming up. Some good stuff. So stay tuned and keep watching if you made it this far. Thank you. I will thank you. You know what, I will thank, people for watching my videos. Not for supporting the channel or anything like that, because like I said, my videos will always be free. If I get 10 million views on a video, I don't care. YouTube can take all the money, because, YouTube can lose all the money. That's what I should say. YouTube can lose all that money, because I will not monetize my channel. That's one thing. Like, if you're watching one of my pure motorcycle riding videos, and as long as it doesn't have sound, you're not watching advertisements. I don't care if you have YouTube Prime or not. You're not watching advertisements to watch my videos. That's just the way I want it to be. The way it should always be. I make these videos for myself, and I really enjoy things to be that way. I made a lot of videos. I'm a pretty prolific video creator. Not the most, obviously. I don't have a schedule or anything like a lot of these real YouTubers do. But, when I have interesting rides and interesting things to do and interesting things to say in my mind, I post these videos up. And at this point I've made, this is going to be... Let's find out real quick. Let's find out how many videos I have made. I don't even know how to check that, to be honest. I have no idea how to check. Isn't there like a YouTube Creator Studio or something? Excuse me. I've got it. I wish it would give me some more information. Well, this is where things really get going. Sorry for listening to me rant here. Then now I'm following a man on a fast man on a Harley. This guy can outrun me with his R1. This guy usually rides an R1, and when he's on his R1, I got no chance of keeping up. But when he comes up on his Harley, I can at least follow him around. You know what I mean? You can at least follow them around. Analytics, maybe this will be it. Here we go, lifetime analytics. This is pretty cool. So I've got 19,000 minutes of watch time. Not bad. 5.3 thousand views of videos and 32 subscribers. That's not too bad. I wonder what build an audience does. This is just interesting stuff. Most of my content is from US. That doesn't even make sense. 25 to 34, that's good. Male 100%. Most of my videos are not subscribed. That's interesting. Wow. Huh. Very interesting stuff. whatever. You know, I'm just ranting and raving a little bit. Thank you for listening and following along. But hey, 19,000, what was that again? 19,000 minutes. So, I mean, 19,000 minutes. I mean, I want to see how many hours that is. About 316 hours. So, let's just put it like this. 316 hours of watch time against my channel. My bike has 720-ish hours of engine on time. So my bike's been on longer than all the views of my videos combined all over the world. So my audience is complete shit. I've got no reach. I've got no audience. I've got no one who cares about me from a YouTube perspective. And you know what? That's okay with me, man. I don't do this because I want to be famous. I don't do this because I want an audience. I don't do this because, you know, I want to post those dank memes and be funny and, you know, entertain people. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not an entertainer. I'm a software developer. I'm a man who's enjoying motorcycling in and of itself. The motorcycling isn't a means to an end like it is for so many YouTubers who do enjoy riding. I'm not going to name any names, but, you know, we got all these motorcycle YouTubers who, they like riding, but they use the riding as a means to an end to promote themselves as a brand. And I just promise, you know, with me, you'll never do that. You'll just get stuff like this, man. You'll get me following a badass on a Harley. Both of us going pretty damn fast and having a really good time. That's the kind of stuff you're going to see from me. So if that's what you want to see, then keep watching these videos, keep listening to me, and keep being real. You know, be true to yourself and be real. That's what I want to see from y'all as subscribers. You know, I've got 32 subscribers. And I'm really happy to say that I appreciate each and every one of you. Even if you don't watch my videos, you know, you're there. You're telling me, hey, you like my stuff. You like the fact that I exist. And, you know, every now and again, you want to watch some of my videos. And I really appreciate that. So have a good one, guys. I mean, have a good one. So this is about the end of this clip of Speedy Boys. You want to see the whole thing? I've got a whole clip of this. Oh. I didn't edit this properly there. Let's see if I can throw that in. Now we're stuck behind a Subaru. It is what it is. So I'm back. I had to take a little break there. I accidentally screwed up my recording. I put a little edit into my video that I noticed I'd missed, and it stopped the recording dead in its tracks. So here I am back again. So we're finishing this off. This is just, you know, what some of these corners would have looked like had we gone a little faster. But instead, you know, stuck behind a Subaru, who's then stuck behind some kind of SUV. So this is the end of Siler, or whatever road this is, and we're all kind of getting ready to head home. So at this point, you know, you got about 10 minutes left, and I'm going to show about 10 minutes of me heading home. There's a few interesting things to see. It's not too bad. These are all our bikers. We got the XR, got the Harley Sportster that's leaving. We got the Honda Magna that's leaving. And again, we have the XR with the guy with the white helmet. And then we got the Triumph Trophy, who's the guy with the white and black helmet. And then me on the BMW R1200 GS. 5 bikes. And I think 5 men who had a great time. Can't say more than that. So he's a little nervous. Mr. XR is a little nervous about dropping his bike when he gets onto it. So he's moving it to a little more of a stable position where the rocks aren't as loose, because he needs to step on the pegs to get on his tall bike, because he's not, you know, y'all with your flat footing and stuff, that guy can barely get one toe on the ground on his XR. And yet he rides that thing like a champion. And me with my GS, you know, I'm 6 feet tall and I have a lower GS, but I've got a high seat with a high seating position. I can barely get one toe down, but man, is it comfortable because my seat's so far from the foot pegs. It makes the rider triangle so nice. I can just ride this bike all day. If I were to lower the seating position, yeah, sure, I'd be able to get my feet down. That kind of defeats the whole point. Yeah, so we're moving along. The guy in the Triumph, he had a little route he wanted to take, a nice little back road he wanted to go on. So I let him lead the way, and that's where we are now. You can see he's not the speediest boy in the world, which is fine. Good for him. You know, he's safe, smart rider, not trying to get killed on a motorcycle. Gotta live with that. You have some nice turns on this road, though. I mean, you got to admit, you got some nice turns on this road. This man rides on the track a lot. You know, he knows how to maneuver a motorcycle around. There's no doubt about that. Look at him pull away there on the exit of that corner. That's you know, pretty nice. Good riding. Just having a fun old time, you know. Finally, we kind of get to the end. So he pulls away without stopping, and I always stop for stop signs. And as soon as I came to a stop, there's this truck, and like I had my buddy behind me, and I don't like splitting the group up anymore, and I have to. And so I let the truck go first. Again, I don't know. That's something you have to think about when you ride. You know, would you rather cut someone off, pull it out, and potentially get hit? Or would you rather just split the group up and put a vehicle between yourself and the rest of the group? It's kind of a tough call. But in the end, it worked out because we ended up going different ways at this traffic light here, and I caught up with my boy. No problem. So now we're moving along a little. Oh, we got pretty far. And now we've got a little speedy boy in this old Mazda. And I can't remember the type of car this is. Maybe I'll see it, but it's a pretty cool little car. He slows down, hits the brakes while I keep accelerating. Got him! You gotta stay in it, boy. You want to race, you gotta stay in it. You had to drop on me, but I got more power than you. You got to drop on me, but I got more power to weight than you, and I got the balls as well, so I'm gonna win that race. Not that I'm racing. I mean, give me a break. That was hardly a race, especially a Mazda, an old Mazda. But you got to admit, that is one fine looking automobile. We're gonna see him again here. He's gonna speed on by here in a second. Yep, there he goes. So I downshift a couple times and return the favor. Give him a little taste of the R1200's power. Not that it has a lot for a motorcycle. It's pretty slow for a motorcycle, but it's pretty damn fast for a car. So, you know, what are you gonna do? So now here's me going in. We're getting to the end of the video. This is turning off and back into Sterling. We're back in Sterling, guys. We got some good stuff here, man. I want to thank you all for watching. I mean, for sure. This has been great. I had a lot of fun making the video. It was a great ride. I had a lot of fun putting all this footage together. Good footage. And I had a lot of fun recording this this text, or this not text. I had a lot of fun recording this audio dub. Because you know I don't talk and ride. I don't really have the setup for it. I don't like how much crap you have to put onto your helmet with the audio recorders and the wiring and the batteries and the this and the that and the fancy microphones and all this other crap that you need. I just don't like it. It's too much work and too much effort, and I kind of like reviewing my footage in this way and putting my voice to the footage after the fact, because for me it's like a diary. This is like a video diary, not a video log. So what do we think about this here? Did I Should I have stopped and let that guy go first? I don't know. I think I should have. That was a little bit of a dick move, as they say. But, yeah, what are you going to do? Having a little fun here. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Nice little acceleration on this tiny 2-lane road. Coming up here. Now, look at the flags at half-mast. I still don't understand why the flags have been at half-mast for what seems like Trump's entire presidency. Doesn't make any sense to me. What are you going to do? It is what it is. So there's my favorite brewery coming up here on the left is Rocket Frog right there. You see me looking, but they're closed. They're closed, so I'm going to go to my second favorite brewery, which is right next to it. Some good people here at Crooked Run, which is where I'm going. So you can see it's like in the same office industrial complex, but it's in a different building. You know, it's in a different freestanding building. And I pull right in. This is the way you park on a motorcycle. Hard turn at the end, get your foot down to keep the bike from tipping over. Use the rear brake for that maneuver. Do not use the front brake, but use the rear brake for that maneuver. Good to go. Finally, we're heading out. Got a little picture of my face. Again, my beautiful fat face. Putting my gloves on, putting everything on. I don't know why I'm showing this clip. It's just is what it is, man. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's like I could keep going here. I feel like I could keep doing this all day, but there is no all day. We're pretty much done. And it is what it is, you know? We are what we are. GS. This is how you mount the GS. You get on that foot peg and you climb up on the bike. You don't just slide your leg over it. You climb up on the foot peg first because it's such a tall bike. And especially with the cases and stuff, it makes it very difficult to just throw a leg over. You climb up like a monkey. So then we head down. Go fast. And then get behind this badass dually. I'm a man who likes his dualies. Now, you know this guy, you can tell, he's like, shit, I gotta go now because there's someone behind me. He was just sitting there playing with his phone or something, but now he's like, God, I gotta move. And of course, he's got such a big truck, he can't pick a lane. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Love you all, and think about your riding.